Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com, and in this video here I'm going to be talking to you and giving you some tips and tricks in general in Kenshi, and also teaching you how to raise toughness, strength, dexterity, and other weapon skills. Let me pull up the window. Melee attack, melee defense. You could probably raise martial arts and dodge here too if you're not using any weapons. And you can, of course, raise whatever weapon skills that you're actually using, as well as field medic, minor amount here, and stuff like that. So where I am right now is in the middle of the crater. A nice big zone in the southern portion of the world. And I also have a rest stop up here, which I've personally made myself. Now, what this crater rest stop is basically a building where I can restock or offload my supplies, as well as rest up. So once everybody gets in here, I will show you the inside right here. So on the inside of this building, I have a bolt box right here for all of my, I'll stock it up with crossbow bolts eventually. 2 food containers, which are stocked with food. And then I have 3 chests for storing random junk. And apparently I picked the smaller chests because they're supposed to be a lot bigger than that. And then I also have all of these beds here for anybody that needs healing. And then I also have the skeletal beds here for anybody who has implants, or not implants, what's the word I'm looking for? Skeletal appendages, for lack of better words. And what is that beak thing doing? He's just like running around being dumb. Sometimes they bust into your compound like this, but they end up being dumb. See, he just actually technically got stuck. So I could take him out without even taking any damage if I wanted to with all my range. He's honestly not even attacking me anyway. He's just trying to finish his pathing. So he'll end up getting killed before he does anything. So that raises my weapon skills a little bit. So now that you've seen the inside of my building, and it's worth mentioning too, on the second floor, I have a bunch of batteries for the power. Because skeleton beds require power. Come on, attacker. I hate when they get stuck on stuff like this. The amount of bugs in this game is too damn high. But I guess that's what happens when it's an indie developer. At least the game's still pretty darn fun. So basically what this video is going to show you is me running around the crater and farming beak things. And anytime that I'm exceptionally wounded, I basically run back to my base and heal up, and then we go back out and we farm some more beak things. So as far as raising toughness goes, getting hit raises toughness quite a bit, but the thing that raises toughness even more is getting knocked unconscious and surviving, of course. And I'm not playing dead. Your character actually has to be knocked unconscious. So when you click on them, it will say unconscious versus playing dead. I'll show you if a character gets unconscious, knocked unconscious sometime soon. My animals end up getting knocked unconscious a lot because they're the first ones that always charge in. My cute little doggos usually get eaten up by the beak things, and I'm end up carrying them around after a couple of packs. But essentially what you want is I'd recommend you come to this area once you have 20 to 30 toughness, somewhere in there. You don't want super low toughness, because then you'll get constant amputations from the beak things. Like if you come in here with only like 20 to 25 toughness, or I should say 10 to 15 toughness, the beak things are probably going to end up busting one of your limbs, and that's not very good. You want to limit how many limbs you lose as much as possible, because skeletal limbs are a pain in the ass to micromanage. Sorry, hiccups. Where is it? Oh, there's, yeah. I'm wondering where Almar was running, but apparently there was another beak thing that was coming up on us. So a small amount of field medic you get with each, let me actually click on this beak thing, because it'll probably say unconscious, not dead. Yeah, see how it says unconscious right here? Knocked out cold? That's what you need to raise your toughness. Getting that, the unconscious little message. Playing dead won't work, and I don't think there is anything besides playing dead and unconscious. Also, it's worth mentioning you're going to be encountering a lot of these swamp raptors throughout the crater. It's up to you if you want to attack them or not. You will have to attack them unprovoked, because Silvershade, you're a ranged guy. Why are you like running up in their face? You can attack them unprovoked. They They're not as strong as the beak things, and they don't have the AoE attack that the beak things have, which means that, of course, Frontlines got stuck. One of my animals got stuck again. One of the reasons I hate using animals in this game is they get stuck constantly. What I was saying, though, is beak things have an AoE attack, so they're kind of better for raising your toughness, since they hit multiple characters at once. However, the raptors will still raise your toughness. They'll also still raise, you know, your armor skills and stuff like that, or your weapon skills since they're hitting you. They'll also raise those for those who are wondering, those numbers that are popping up on my screen are actually my characters shooting themselves with their ranged weapons. One of the main reasons that I'm raising ranged weapons so much, because friendly fire does exist in this game. If one character is running like way ahead of the group, and the other one is shooting in the back of the group, there's a chance they'll hit them. It's also, you can also raise strength here too, depending on what weapon you're using. Like if you're using a heavy weapon, you'll raise strength instead of dexterity. If you're using an agile weapon, you'll raise dexterity instead of strength. So basically, this is just a good grinding spot for general all-purpose, making your character stronger. If you're looking for a lower level grinding spot, I would recommend what is this area called? Fog Islands, I think. I'm going back to my base now to check what this area is. I'm pretty sure it's Fog Islands. Indeed, Fog Islands. Right up here is my northern base in the Fog Islands, and I am constantly attacked by cannibals, fog, whatever they're called, the fog hive creatures and stuff like that. So this, I would say, is a better place for leveling up if you're a low level. Like, let me click on the bodies of the hive here. So you can see the Fogman right here. They have very low strength, very low attack, very low defense, low dexterity, and they come in very large packs. So this is basically like the teens where I would recommend you level up. And once you're done here, then you can move on to the crater, or even vein, or someplace where there's a lot of beak things. Because beak things are very, very good for leveling up on, in my honest opinion. And the reason I think they're good for leveling up on is because they have very, very hard-hitting AoE attacks. They also have a shit ton of health. Like, I just clicked on a beak thing down here. Check out how much, his stomach, 233. His head, 194. So basically everything, a lot of this stuff goes up to like 230, I think it is. Let me find one that's actually alive, so we can get a better judge. I'm pretty sure, though, their health goes up to like 230. There's one that's alive right there. So yeah, basically his chest goes up to like 334, stomach 334. He has 350 blood. Basically everything is in like the 300s except for the head, that's only in the 200s. But that's how hard they are to kill. So it's a lot more damage they're putting out, and you're getting hit with, which will obviously convert to higher toughness that you're getting. And they're harder to kill, which basically just makes combat last longer and will get you overall more skill ups. And then, of course, there are so many beak things that you're going to end up having to med a lot. Like my main character, my main tank, I should say, Kang, he has 63 toughness, and usually everybody gets knocked out, or usually a lot of people get knocked out besides Kang. Like, look how slow my little doggo is moving right here because his right leg has been fucked up. Usually what I do is I venture around until enough of my characters get hurt to where every single character is basically carrying somebody else, and then that's when I end up going back to rest up for the night. Once half my team basically is being carried, then I figure it's time to rest up, let everybody get healed, and then go back out on a hunt. So I will probably show you one full hunt during this video, and then I will end the video so it doesn't go on forever. Right now we're just scouting around for some beak things. Let me look at my map. It says there's a nest here, but it says there's none in the nest, so I've basically cleared out all of the nests in this zone, picked up all the beak thing eggs. Some swamp raptors I can fight. Well, there's some beak things up here. One beak thing. It's up to you if you want to loot every single one of these too. I'd actually highly recommend against looting the swamp raptors. They don't drop much of all. Much crap at all. They drop like 1 hide and I think 6 foul meat, or maybe it's 3 foul meat. The beak things drop 6 hides and 5 meat, which is a pretty good haul. If you want to make the meat into dried meat, you'll be able to keep yourself completely fed the entire time that you're out here. You won't need to stock up on food at a vendor or grow your own food or anything like that. And it's worth mentioning too, I have not found a better mid-level zone than this one to level up in. I spent a lot of time in Vane, and while I do like Vane somewhat, the red rain is definitely super annoying, and is one of the worst parts about Vane. However, what I do like about Vane is the density of beak things and gorillos. There is a lot of enemies there for you to fight and level up your skills on, which is great. Apparently there's a lot of beak things up there fighting some swamp raptors. But as you can see, I just took out like 2 packs of swamp raptors there. They have about the same stats as beak things. However, they don't have the same health as beak things. Like, see these swamp raptors? They have 129 value for their stomach, health value for their stomach, chest, legs. So basically, beak things go up to, I think it was 300, right? I forget. And these only go up to like 120. So there's the main difference you're going to see in terms of enemies, or in terms of their stats. And if you didn't already notice there, the swamp raptors and beak things will fight each other throughout all of the crater and throughout all of the surrounding area. So you can either pick on the swamp raptors when they're weak or pick on the beak things when they're weak. It doesn't really matter. I usually, if there's a big pack of swamp raptors, I like taking them out because that's extra toughness, extra strength level ups, extra all that fun stuff level ups. And swamp raptors don't hit as hard or as frequent as beak things, so the chance of an amputation from them is very, very low, in my honest opinion. At least I should say, I've personally never had a limb amputated because of a swamp raptor. Maybe somebody out there has with a weaker character, but I tend to... Swamp raptors tend to not put out as much damage as beak things. Beak things put out an insane amount of damage because of their main attack is like a head swing AoE that hits everybody in the local vicinity. And occasionally you're going to get characters like this that are pretty wounded that, as you can see, Infinite Wingwang, he's hobbling on over to me. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pick him up with one of my other characters. Basically, whenever anybody gets a leg injury like that, we just pick them up and we start carrying them around. The character who's carrying them around will move a little bit slower, but the trade-off is you level up strength at the same time, so... As we can see, there's lots of beak things hanging around my base. There's some fighting swamp raptors over there. There's some eating swamp raptors over here, which I'm going to take them all out because that's a nice size pack. And it's also worth mentioning, you could, if you wanted to, you could set up turrets on to guard your base here, and then you could have one character constantly sitting on the turrets, and he would probably level up his turret skills quite a bit by shooting at all of the beak things that roam by in this area. I'm not really interested in the turrets, though, and guarding my base in such a way. I find the amount of attacks I get are pretty low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beak things is how many we're going to be fighting. And then we'll probably swing into the base and med up because shit's about to start getting real. Characters are about to probably start dropping during this fight. Let's see. Hama is getting injured. Kang is barely injured at all. Y Joe, let's see what you're at. Doggo just went down. He just got knocked unconscious, so he got a lot of strength, or a lot of toughness. Attacker got knocked unconscious too. As you can see, though, we took out most of them. Those guys are running over to fight those beak things because that's just how the AI works. Seems like Stubbs got knocked unconscious too. These beak things managed to come over here and fight me. Dr. Chung will probably get knocked unconscious. Let me pause it. Pull him up. No. Let me, hopefully he does get knocked unconscious because I would like to show you how much extra toughness he gets. No, he didn't. When he gets knocked unconscious versus how much he gets when he gets hit. It's something you can personally test yourself. There's actually a YouTube video that talks about this a little bit more in depth where, I think it's called How to Raise Toughness to 90 in 20 Minutes. I'm pretty sure it's the title of the video. You should be able to find it if you look for it, though. Now, let me give them time to heal each other. As you can see, they're running inside. Well, actually, they're offloading resources in the animal feeders. And then a few of them that are injured will run inside in a second. Usually takes them a while for some reason. Let me actually send one character in there, then the rest should follow. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they all run to beds automatically. Sometimes they kind of don't. Let me see if I can cancel action. Nope, that didn't work. Weird. Attacker's being eaten. That's not good. Is he being eaten? Because he doesn't look like he's being eaten. Says he's being eaten alive. I guess by that guy. That's something you have to watch out for. You can't leave your characters just chilling out on the ground like this. You can see the little bite marks over his character portrait. Yeah, he was only temporarily being eaten alive for like 2 seconds, and then the enemy decided, nah. Good choice, enemy. Apparently, okay. He was stuck, that's why. One thing that's worth mentioning is there are no beds for animals. However, animals will heal at a faster rate than humanoids. Like, look how badly fucked up Attacker is. He has, his legs are pretty damaged. His chest is pretty damaged in his stomach, and same with front lines. He's pretty messed up too. And I can't remember if I mentioned this in another video or at the beginning of this video, but beds actually have a 800% bonus to healing, which is a big deal. You can see here when you click on the bed, it says healing bonus X8, which is another reason that I recommend you make beds versus sleeping bags. And that's really all there is to it. I've given you pretty much all of the info you would need for tips and tricks of how to level up toughness and basically all of your other characters' combat abilities. It is pretty tedious and boring. What I do is I basically just run a circuit around the crater, and once my characters have taken enough damage, I just return to my central base here, let them rest until everybody's pretty much healed, and then I go back out on another grinding run. And I just rinse and repeat that over and over and over and over as I level up their toughness. I guess in the future I'll probably do another video of a higher level location where you can essentially do the same exact thing. I would call the crater a mid-level area. Beak things, expect the adult versions, not the elder versions. I've encountered an elder version of the beak thing and got my ass handed to me by them because I wasn't expecting it. And the regular version of beak things, which in this area and in Vane, I've never encountered an elder beak thing, only the regular ones. However, the regular ones are kind of like mid-level monsters. I'd call the elder ones mid to high-level monsters. But they're, like I said earlier, one of my favorite things to level up my characters off of. They do a great job leveling my toughness. And usually with just 2 2 to 3 hour grind, I can get 5 to 10 points of toughness, depending on how much that character takes hits, which I consider pretty darn good. But aside from that, though, I've pretty much shared all the information you guys would need. If you want to build little rest stops like this throughout the world, I would totally recommend it, because you definitely need places to stop, rest up before moving on, and also to stop, either pick up supplies you need, like food or first aid supplies, or, offload your supplies, because you might be in the middle of adventuring and not in the middle of selling. Usually what I do is I go out on adventuring runs, gather as much as I possibly can, offload it all at my base, and then when I go to sell, I'll gather everything up and then go to sell. That way I'm not running around with a bunch of crap that I plan to sell. But that's really all there is to it. Hopefully this video helped some of you guys out. Hopefully it answered some of your questions. And I will catch you guys around in future Kenshi videos. Peace.